This is what the year looked like in 12 months. I spent the majority of my time in the refrigerator, grabbing food and shoving it in my face. I didn't care what it was, I just kept eating. And it's because of the sugar. It's because of the sugar that kept me stuck. And I had to make changes. And I did. And I'm probably in the best place I have been in years. I'm sure you've been in the pantry. I'm sure that you've kind of come in from work, just like I am right now, and started looking around, trying to figure out what kind of chips you were gonna have. Reach for some Cheez-Its, or are you gonna go for an Aero s'mores, or are you gonna grab some Sun Chips? My daughter's home from university, so a lot of these things are now in my house. Or are you gonna spend more time choosing an apple, an avocado, some almonds? This was my year, and this is what happened. The beginning of the year didn't start off on a really good foot. And as the year progressed, it didn't really get any better. It got harder. And I started to play the victim card because I started to use my food addiction and my sugar addiction as an excuse. Yeah, we all have that moment. And today it was mine. You let me know if you want me to give you a push? All right, let's go. Let's do it. We all have a turn back moment. We all have a moment when we look at our lives and go, that's when it happened. I'm at the hospital. I had to go visit a friend that had a heart attack. It scared the crap out of me. And the thing is you cannot outrun a bad diet. I've said it so many times. And this comes to me as well. I have to make some changes to the way I'm doing things. The thing is, it can be hard. But what's even harder is being in a place like this, sitting there, and I looked at the people that were in there and they looked like me. And I thought, what the heck? You know, this heart attacks can happen to anyone, right? Like plaque buildup, breakage, these things are real. And it doesn't matter how often you run. It doesn't matter about that. It matters about the food that we consume, the stuff that we're putting in our body.
Far too many years.
Oh no. Oh my God.
I wandered down the city, taking pity on myself through my
Friends to say goodbye. You start to get dressed and then we cry.
I don't feel comfortable at all. I think I'm gonna cry. All that hard flipping work that I've done over this past year, and I got nothing to show for it. Clothes can hide a lot of things. I just want to be open, honest, and I want to motivate people. I want to help others know that they're not the only ones. Some food allergies that I have to think about. Gluten kind of gets me. I'm not celiac, but it does make me bloat. It makes me very uncomfortable. And I really don't like, my skin on my elbows and on my knees and on my toes. It gets a little, it gets a little dry, gets flaky. And I find that the more gluten I consume, the more wheat, bread and everything like that, it just makes my joints ache a lot more. I just seem to be more inflammation in my body. So that's one of the aspects I find about eating more plant-based with it. When I eat a plant-based diet, I find that I am much happier. All my gut bacteria just seems to be, happy gut bacteria. You cut out all the processed food, all the sugar, and basically you feed your body with, good, healthy food. Like I like a lot of fermented foods like kimchi and, pickles and sauerkraut. I love that kind of stuff. It's got a lot of good probiotics in it. Just eating more vegetables and fruits, makes me happy. I love those things. And then the nuts and seeds and the tofu and the tempeh and stuff like that for proteins, that also works well. So I am not deficient in any of those types of things. I just kind of really enjoy the foods. I'm a pretty basic eater. I don't really need to have these gourmet foods. Do I miss burgers? No, I'll have a Beyond Burger if I need one. I mean, I know it's processed and has a, plant-based food, but still it's processed. So I try to limit, my consumption of those. Now, but here's the other thing. Like you all know, For those of you that have been following me for a while, I kind of fell off the wagon a little bit and started eating a lot of food that wasn't serving me. And this year I made a very conscious decision to stay away from all the added sugars, the processed foods, donuts and bagels and breads and stuff. I've just pulled all of that out of my diet. Over the last month, I haven't felt this good in a very long time. I'm just done with this. I don't want to participate, and I don't care anymore. I got a story to tell you. Yeah, this never happened. What am I doing? Hi, how are you?
I'm good, how are you?
Good. Can I get... I know it's going to be good for me once I get out there. 4 hours sleep. Just want to make a magical elf go to the car and get my shoes. When you get home at like 3 o'clock in the morning, the last thing you want to do is... I had so much stuff in my hands last night. Food, quality of sleep, consistency all have an impact on my heart rate. And if you're like me and you want to know what works and what doesn't, stay tuned, take a look at the end of this video because I'm going to review all of it and put it out on the table. I got my shoes. I forgot them in the car last night. It was a 3-hour drive home last night from a buddy's cottage. And it was, man, I had a lot of time to think, I have friends of mine who aren't doing well and, they're like, how do you run as much as you run? How do you get out and do 10 kilometers every day? How do you do a half marathon on weekends? Like, how do you just do it when you're getting old and you feel miserable and your body just aches? I have a lot of thoughts and I have my own opinions. And I'm no expert in any of these matters. I'm just some guy who likes to run, makes videos, and likes to inspire others to be better in their life, to be able to show up for themselves, to get out and run and my heart rate and lose weight. I just love helping people. And when I have friends who are struggling with mental health, with weight, with self-worth, it's so hard and it's heartbreaking. And I just don't know what to do about it. Why do I say this to you guys? Because look, I'm just like you guys. We all have people who are struggling in our life. And it's just a matter of showing up. Running is awesome, and that's a fact. I've grown to love the sport so much over the past few years, and I want others to love it as much as I do. However, there are 10 hard facts about being a runner that you need to know about so they don't surprise you when they do appear. They've happened to me, and they will certainly happen to you. It's inevitable. I wish I could say that running is all sunshine and rainbows, but it's not. And it never will be. And it never gets easier. So let me share these 10 hard facts with you so you can be prepared to handle them like a champ when they do happen. The first hard fact about being a runner is running is hard. It's a physically demanding activity that can be challenging and uncomfortable, especially when you're pushing yourself to go further and faster. You're going to experience pain, whether it's shin splints, blisters, muscle soreness. Running can cause physical discomfort in anybody, not just beginners. And that is your first hard fact about being a runner. So I forced myself out of my comfort zone to up my running mileage like I did in 2020. One of the things I enjoy most about running longer is how my mind feels and reacts to the longer runs. I'm obsessed with how I feel after 3 hours on the trail or a half marathon on a Sunday morning. Let's just say it's changed my outlook on life forever and taught me the most valuable lesson as a runner I could ever learn, which I believe will stop you from falling into the endless plodding trap. The endless Maffetone, aka running slow grind, can be hard on the mind because it's easy on the body. And with spring here and summer right around the corner, I really needed to change, or I might flippin' lose my mind, if you know what I mean. Yes, I'm improving. Yes, I'm losing weight. Yes, I'm injury-free. Yes, the method works. Yes, running slowly works. However, to keep running fun and to keep it enjoyable, things have to change. You can't. I brought my piece of paper. Yes, I have notes. I don't want to miss anything. I don't want to skip over any of my talking points in this particular video. Knowing when to take a step back, knowing when to make a change, knowing that you can't keep doing what you're doing because you're not seeing the result that I want to see. I know how to do things. I've been here before. I've seen an old familiar path that I could take, and I know where it would lead me, but I also know the dedication it's going to take to achieve what it is I want to do. My wife, things haven't been great with her. She's been sick and going through depression, anxiety. It sucks me trying to figure my stuff out every day. I say all of this because I don't sleep well at night. Like, I get sleep, but I don't sleep, if you know what I mean. Like, I'm thinking a lot when I'm awake, and I'm thinking a lot trying to get to sleep. And when I'm asleep, I'm thinking about me needing to get sleep. It's kind of like a vicious cycle, if you know what I mean. I battle every day wanting to eat. You know, I eat the wrong foods when I know I should be eating the right foods. Only because you're looking for comfort in all the wrong places. So I'm just gonna say this as it is. I'm an overweight runner, but to somebody who's even heavier than I am, they would consider me not to be overweight. So whenever I see Dr. Phil Maffetone talk about in his notes and on his website to say that, you know, if you are over fat, you have to reduce your beats that you're allowed to run, like by 10 or by 5. Like, what does that mean? Everyone's different. And so I struggle with that. Now, I've used the Kavarman method to come up with where my heart rate is for zone 2. So using the Maffetone method, yeah, it's all individually based. And that's sometimes very hard for runners, specifically if you're just starting out running, to figure out, right? If you're overweight, what does that mean, right? Everyone's gonna be different. And I don't know how to answer that. Now, during the second part of the year, I was really listening to what I was telling myself, and I didn't like what I was hearing. I didn't like what I was putting out. I didn't like how I was continuously in the same cycle over and over. I felt like I was in a snow globe and nothing ever changed, and I was just getting very frustrated. I made a very conscious effort to really dial in my training, and not just my running, my diet, the food that I consumed. I made a conscious decision that I was going to put me first, and I was going to deal with my addiction. I was going to deal with my sugar addiction. I was going to deal with my food addiction. This is the kind of shakeup I needed. God, this is gorgeous out here. Welcome to Island Lake, everybody, for another 2-hour run. This is day 11. Day 11 of running 2 hours or more. I don't know what to tell you guys. I really don't. Other than I am like flipping on top of the world, and I'm so grateful my body is holding up strong. All of the strength training, all of the stretching and chiropractics and massage, and all of those things have really helped my body get to the position where I am today. And I gotta tell you, this is probably the best I've felt since 2020. That's a long time ago, 3 years ago, when I was training for my ultra. Now you're probably wondering, why? Why, Dave? Why are you doing this? Well, I'm doing it because I felt stuck, stagnant, and I just got fed up about playing the victim card over and over and over again in my head. I couldn't do it anymore. So it's just time to just get out and do the thing I love and just shut up and not complain. Just do the thing. And when I live in such a beautiful part of the world, honestly, I'm just grateful that I live in Canada, in Ontario, because it is flippin' beautiful all year round. Whether it's winter, fall, spring, or summer, which is what we're in right now. And yes, it can be hot. Yes, it can be muggy. Yes, all of those things. Right, in the winter, it can be way too cold. But you know what? I don't care. I just run. Just run and decide. You got to decide on something, because if you don't decide on anything, then you're never going to do what it is that you want to do. Here's David.
Yeah. Yeah, I've come over from England. Dave and I have been keeping in touch via the YouTube channel. Well, we said we're about 3 years now, I think. And we've been meaning to catch up. And I came over to Canada this summer.
He came all the way just to see me.
Just to see this guy.
No, he came for something else.
Yeah, I was doing the Wasaga Beach Triathlon yesterday, which is just up the road from here. And Dave said, why don't we run on the Sunday? And I'm thinking, oh my God, what are my legs going to be like? But you know what? This has been a lovely recovery run. We're chatting away. And the environment here, it is absolutely stunning. It's beautiful.
When I started, most runners want to have the endurance to run longer without burning out. Building an aerobic base is the foundation. It's one of the first steps for me, so that way I can compete in races and not burn out before the end of it. Heart rate training is where you're going to be spending 70 to 85% of your total training time at a low heart rate, under your zone 3. Listen, you're going to be faster, you're going to be more energetic throughout the day, you're going to be able to have more, you're going to be metabolically fitter, and you'll be able to fuel your runs using your fat as a fuel source. So what is zone 2 training? This is so frustrating. Well, we'll see. We'll go for a bite to eat and we will review it. I think this is the last K. 2 minutes left. I gotta make it. I don't know. Oh man, this sucks. I don't know. I don't know if I can do it. I don't know. I think I'm done. Oh crap. So close. Come on. Come on. Push. 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 You got this. You got this. Oh yeah. I don't know, guys. I don't know. I pushed too late. Pushed too late. I did. I don't know. All right. Let's go get a bite to eat and let's see how I did. Onwards. I'm still looking for a place to go for a run. Do a quick change into my running stuff. So that way when I do find a place, I can go for, yeah, just these early morning starts means it's very difficult to find the time to get out runs. Well, that's better. Time to go find that place. See, where I am right now, I'm actually out in the sticks. No one's around. So I just found this beach parking lot. Got a quick change because there's no one around, so it's pretty easy to do. It just saves me having to drive into town to go into a Starbucks or a Tim Hortons. Still looking for a trail. Sure we'll find something. I'm sure we'll find something, and then I gotta go find something to eat. So I promised you guys I'd find some kind of healthy place to eat. Well, then again, I don't know if I said healthy or not, but at least some place that I can eat. Sometimes we have a tendency of overeating, saying, look, I deserve this. I've just burned all these calories. I can just go ahead and eat what I want. After a run, I'll have a piece of toast with some avocado, some almonds, spinach, obviously electrolytes, and sometimes I'll have tofu scramble. It's kind of like egg scramble, but with tofu, with turmeric, salt, and nutritional yeast. As nice as this meal is, it can be high in calories, but at least it's high in calories in a good way. Now before, I used to do so many other things when I came back from a run. And I'll tell you, I was consuming way more than I was burning. But here's the thing that you need to understand. I've changed my thought pattern from saying I have to run so I can eat all the things I want to I fuel my body with food so that way I can improve in my running. And ever since I made that shift, things really started to change. Things are about to change. As a runner that has a sweet tooth and who seems to gain weight just by looking at food, even though I run 10 kilometers or 6 miles every day, I've faced all the frustration I can take with how my training has been for the last few years. A few months ago, I decided to take control of my eating habits and remove added sugar from my diet for 30 days. I wanted to see what I could learn, and I wanted to see if I could make the changes needed to improve in my running. Today, I'm ready to reveal the surprising results of my 30 days of no added sugar. Get ready, it's going to be amazing. I was quite surprised. And as we know, sugar isn't absolutely everything. I'm 1 minute and 12 seconds faster per kilometer by building my aerobic base using the Maffetone method. The formula I used was 180 minus your age, and that's the beats per minute you will run or stay below. Get to this point in my training, I ran 2,874 kilometers, 352 hours, 26,000 meters of elevation, and I lost 28 pounds. All this was achieved by running in Zone 2, slow aerobic base training with 0 injuries. And later in the video, I'll show you my running results from 1 year of running. Flippin' amazing how much I've improved using the Maffetone method over the last year. God, I just don't want you guys to skip out on the benefits that you can get from using this method. It's not all sunshine and rainbows. I mean, when it gets hot outside, God, using the Maffetone method can be so frustrating. But then when it cools down like it is right now, it's like, man, this is like the best thing ever. It just feels like I found free speed. Now, as you can see, I've made a lot of changes. I'm in a different place, and I'm going to continue to pick up on where I've left off going into the new year. I'm in a very, very, very interesting place, a very happy place, but very interesting, because now training is really going to start for this 100 miler. And I'm a little freaked out because I do know the amount of effort that I need to put into it. So I'm going to have to start off dealing with some 10Ks, some half marathons moving forward before I can get to this whole big beast of a 100 miler. So baby steps, Dave, baby steps. And I'm coming for you. I'm coming. I'm doing it. I'm going to make it happen. As scared as I am, I'm moving forward. If you're struggling, if you are going through things that I went through, if you've got weight to lose, if you need motivation, if you need to be inspired, if you just want the help, then follow along. I'm here. I'm with you. Let's make the next year an amazing year. And let's go out and achieve our dreams, our goals. Let's make it happen. Like I always say, get out and run. See ya in.
Trying to find some balance in my life. I never really put up a fight, and now I'm losing sleep. What if I lost touch? What if I'll never get it right? I try to follow my heart, but I lost it somehow. Wish that someone could say it'll all be okay. Just
You know how I always say get out and run? Yeah, talking to you. Get out and run. See you next week.